Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. I've been here for the last couple of minutes. I've been firing off some social medias. That's what they call them, right? Social medias. So that's why I'm a little bit over the timer. But welcome on in, everybody. Welcome. Hey, Just T, welcome on in. Yeah, we're gonna pick up where I left off last night and see if we can get some connections going here with the old Twitcheroony. There was something I thought of, and I'm trying to think if I have captured here. No, I think I did capture it last night. The profile URL. Yeah. Got display name and profile URL. So that's good. So this will take care of itself here. The next thing is I need to figure out the accounts controller here. I need the DAO set up. I've got the mapper here, which doesn't have the new fields I just put in. Let's get those. So private string display name private date date, what did I call it? Oh no, it's a boolean. State key fired. Name and state key fired and profile URL. All right, so get setters for those. Leave that back over here and display name key expired profile URL is what I call it, right? Profile URL. Yes. And then over here, not over there, over here. To service that only display name, state key expired, profile URL. There we go. I was thinking a little bit more about the page itself, and I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to break it in half, and have the top half be your excuse me, main broadcasting account. And then the bottom half be the optional chat account. That way, if you have chat messages going out and you have, interactions and all that stuff and chat commands and all that stuff, they'll get answered by the chat account as opposed to your main account. I think is a good thing for a lot of people, because then it eliminates a lot of misunderstanding as to where messages are coming from and all that stuff. Okay. So what I'm going to want to do that is, it's not going to be get all accounts. It's going to be get broadcast accounts where that only false. You know what? I can just say get accounts. Well, I'll just make this question there. I'll just say get broadcast account, and then this will take false there. Now get the chat count. There we go. Good. And then want to create a broadcast account. I guess I could say create it. And yeah, I mean, that was correct what it had there. So insert into account. Could only stay key, create updated. Play name. State key expired, profile URL. So service that only. State key yeah, I mean, it's not null, right? So I have to put something there. The sure state key. And then create an update will be what was it now? Is that the thing? That's current timestamp. It was something weird. And 3 after that. My namespace key, sorry, perfect. Okay, good. Service, that only, a key, don't need, read it, updated. Transactional. Go. Okay. 8. So delete account. It's going to be interesting. Because it's going to delete all of your events. Is that true? I could make it. I could. It would be better, I think, if I could. It'd be better if I could remove that requirement there. Because I'm thinking, like, if you have multiple accounts that you broadcast from, you probably don't need multiple different types of alerts. I mean, it's nice to have the ability, but like multiple copies of the same alert. Probably nice to do that because you could, customize it, but you don't necessarily have to. And then there's the question of, can I don't think there's any way that I can make an alert work quite the same way between one service and another. I mean, there's definitely similarities, but there'd be differences too in how things work, so you can't quite necessarily make it work across the different services. Would be nice to be able to, though. Like, have some sort of analog there. I don't know. Something worth thinking about, but at the same time, well, okay. I mean, for simplicity, I don't have to do that right now, but most of the settings I have for an event are in a JSON blob. So if there were settings for a particular account, for a particular service that wouldn't apply to like settings for YouTube that wouldn't apply to Twitch or vice versa, it would all be theoretically abstracted away. And so it wouldn't hurt anything by being in that JSON blob. So, yeah, I guess that wouldn't necessarily hurt anything to be able to do that. All that means is I just need a linking table between account and alert settings, which is not an earth-shattering kaboom by any stretch of the imagination. It just makes would make queries a little bit I guess slightly more tedious. Well, not really, but it just makes it a little bit more interesting. I have to jump through the linking table to get to it, but the problem though is when you go to add an event, when you go to create an event, you have to pick what service you're looking for the event. Or there'd have to be some kind of way to associate it with the service that you wanted the event to work on. I don't know. It sounds like it'd be a great idea, but at the same time, it'll make everything, as far as the back-end logic goes, twice as difficult. There's something that may or may not be that big a deal. Hey, Varuna, welcome on in. Happy Saturday to you as well. Let me think. So if I'm gonna do that, then now's the time to make that rewrite. Because later on, it's going to be that much more difficult. But what I can do, I mean, a linking table is not going to hurt anything too much right now. So I can put it in there, and it'll still be when you create an alert, you'll create it with just one service in mind. And then I can fix that later so that you can select multiple. It would just be like switching from a drop down to a bunch of checkboxes, I guess. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. So I think it kind of throws off the foreign keys a little bit, right? But yeah, exactly. It's just I can do it now and then kind of retrofit the UI for it. I'm just wondering whether it's worth putting foreign key constraints in on it. Because I'm going to have a linking table then. I don't know that it matters at that point. I mean, it's nice to have referential integrity, but I don't know. Because in theory you can remove it from. I guess it would be. I could still, yeah, I should still do it, but instead of doing it from alert settings, I'll do a cascade delete from foreign key from accounts to the account linking table. And that way, when I delete an account, it should delete the linking table reference to it, but it won't delete your event. So worst case scenario, if your event was only tied to, or your alert, I should say, was only tied to one account and you deleted that link to that account, your alert's still there and all the data is still there. It's just, it'll never fire off because it's not associated with a account anymore. So I think that's a fair trade-off. That way, you know, someone accidentally deletes their account or they need to do it for some technical reason or whatever, you know, the account link that is, they won't really be losing any data, because they'll just have to, it's just that they'll have to go and reassociate their, have to go into their alerts and edit them and then reassociate them with the accounts that they want them with. I think is a fair trade-off for being able to have an alert being able to do an alert once and have it theoretically work across both platforms. So yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll do that. So I don't need. So this would be. I have alert settings. I would really just put this constraint up here. Now, can I just define a constraint within a create table? in H2 here? I wonder. Let's see. Oh. Man, great table. Table so column name, column definitions, and within parentheses have a table constraint. We have primary, unique, referential constraint. So you can put those right inside the create table. That's so we'll say how did they do it? So they just did straight up references, blah blah blah. I don't need the add or the word constraint. Wait, is there a referential constraint? Foreign key, the references test. Okay. Oh, but wait a minute. There's got to be a way to name the constraint. Yeah. Oh yeah, constraint name definition. Then blah blah blah. Okay. So constraint name definition is constraint. New constraint name. Gotcha. Yeah. All right. So right. How counts what do we usually call how do we usually name linking tables? I think of the naming convention we usually use. I guess it would be alert settings is what? Alert settings. Count alert settings. The ID count alert settings. Foreign key. R and K would be E. This is alert settings. No. On delete SK. I don't know if dropping the table, if it'll let me drop the table if there's a constraint or not. I'm gonna put this in just in case for the rollback. The alter table, if exists, counts. Drop this. Loud. Do that just to be on the safe side. There with that. And then settings doesn't need this. But we want the I'm gonna create a other change that here. Actually, we'll do it at the maybe. Then I guess I should do it. Change set. Oh, 6, 15, 20, 24. 15, 25. And then just need to copy this. Back. So I just need account ID and Generate. We need account ID and keep the created and updated too, even though it's not as relevant, but I'll just keep it for brevity's sake. So account ID and alert setting. Okay, and this would be what did I call it up here? Not alert settings. And then we don't delete cascade on this, but we do want to reference. This is account alert settings. Account ID. Account. So account ID. Account. Right. And then we need a second constraint. Alert settings. Alert settings ID. Alert settings foreign key. ID references alert settings ID. Okay. This here, and then we'll move the and we'll feel if exists. Now we want drop this constraint. And then drop. Okay. Okay, so account alert settings. I'm not going to put a in let me think here. I should probably put a constraint on Count settings. The only pain in the ass of that is that I have to write the records. I have to write the leaking table records first, which I guess is fine. Although that's not true because I just put constraints on this table, which means I won't be able to write this record first because it needs the corresponding things to exist. I think I'm not going to put constraints on at all. Yeah, if there's random junk in there, yeah, if there's random junk in that linking table, then I don't. So we're not going to worry about that. Just something's got to come first. We got a chicken and egg. So the linking table will get written to first, and then the alert settings table. And then that way I can put a constraint on the alert settings table that says against the linking table with a delete cascade on it so that it'll at least try to keep. Although I'm not deleting it from settings. Do I have an actual delete on the settings deal here? I do have an actual. And this gets called, correct? Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. There's no reason for me to keep those around if they don't want them. I mean, I have the active flag, so if somebody wants to keep it around, they just want it deactivated, they can. But if you want to delete it, you just delete it. So we want to alter table if this settings and create settings ID count alert setting E. Foreign key references count alert settings count or alert settings. On delete. Yes. All right, and then fallback is adult rights for table. This alert settings. Wrap. Print if this. Up to there. I saw this one here. I was like, wait, account ID? What? Then I realized that that's correct. So with that, need I don't need the account ID column. Rid of that. Okay. Seems fine. Yeah, I think that's okay. So now I have to go back and change a bunch of things. Okay. Save that. Over here. Bleeding account is just as simple as doing that. It will cascade. Oof. And then I guess we'll just need complete the CRUD operations here. Public land up. Service. Update is current timestamp. URL get ID. Good. That's very correct. All right. I've been going for just an hour, but I need to stand up for a few minutes. Still getting used to this new chair, and it's good on my back, but still having a problem where, like, it's up high enough now that it's good, but it's also like feels like it's wearing through my knees faster for some reason. Yeah, I just have to stand up because my knees right now. So I'm going to take a 2-minute break, a true 2-minute break here, sort of, just to stretch a little bit, and I'll refresh some water here from coffee to water, and I will be right back in a minute, my friends. Okay, I'm back. All right, that felt good. Stand up and stretch for a little bit. Run in place for a second. Okay. Oh, I also get like blood going back to my brain for a bit here. Try to figure out what I'm doing. That's always the hardest part. It's like this is how I struggle during the day too. It's like trying to. It's not that there's distractions or anything. There isn't. It's more like just trying to stay in the zone long enough to think things out and keep the code flowing and stuff like that. That's the part I've been struggling with more and more over the years. It's just like not like getting into the flow, but like staying there. I've been trying some stuff. There's a game on Steam. Not even really a game. It's more like an application on Steam. That has like I think it's called Spirit City Lo-Fi Beats or something like that. And I've been using that occasionally because what it does is it's not. I mean, there's a game there, but really it's meant for helping you to concentrate. So it's got all kinds of lo-fi music to listen to, as well as a little mini web browser, so you can go to like YouTube and just pick something and search for it and just listen to whatever tracks you want there. But what's nice about it is it has a timer. It has like one of those like what do they call them, like periodic timers, where you can set like you want 30-minute sessions, say, and then you want like a 10-minute break between them, and it'll count down, and then it'll give you an alert, when it's time for a break, and you take a break, and then it starts the next session. After that, you can do like up to 5 sessions or something like that. So I've been doing that a little bit too. The whole like, get in the zone for 30 minutes, take a break, 10 minutes, get in the zone for 30 minutes, take a break for 10 minutes. And it kind of helps and kind of doesn't. One of those things where it's like, it's a good idea, but it doesn't, even if you are very regimented and you follow it, it's still kind of difficult to sort of stay in the flow or get back in the flow. And sometimes the flow is longer than a half an hour. Sometimes it'll be, I'll be able to stay in it for an hour, and so I'll just kind of, you end up sort of skipping some of the breaks because you don't want to lose that that train of thought, but it's, any little bit sort of helps anymore. And this is not something new either. Like, I had this problem even when I was in the office and not working from home all the time. Where you're just kind of sitting there and just like staring at your screen, just trying to make something happen, and it is not. I think what's nicer now is like, when you're in the office, there's not a whole lot you can do because you're kind of expected to be at your desk and be available. You can occasionally like step out for a couple minutes and maybe, go for like a small walk around the parking lot or something like that, but not much else. Now, what's nice being at home is I can just kind of, if I need a break, I can get up and go for a walk. I'm not shackled to the. I don't feel like I'm shackled to the desk, or I can even do like a quick something quick around the house, a spot clean, or throw a load of laundry in or something, something to just kind of like re-energize your brain so you're ready for the next, jump back into the coding and stuff. There's also, speaking of like coding here, yeah, I gotta do the account, credit count. Yeah, I gotta go fix. I gotta flirt settings now. Right, which I have to fix anyway because they're still referencing service column anymore. Speaking of debates going on, I noticed I was going to throw my hat in the ring, and I probably still will. There's a thing going around on Twitter right now amongst the tech Twitterers, debating whether or not the students in college should learn Git or at least some kind of version control system. And there's good points on both sides, and there's a lot of back and forth. But for me, thinking about it, I think that the one argument I haven't really seen yet, and I think it's a compelling one, is I don't really care what version control system they learn, because a lot of people are like, well, it just you don't have to spend any time on that in college. It only takes 10 minutes to learn GitHub and all this stuff. It's just like commands you gotta run, right? And sure, to learn the basic commands it takes 10 minutes, but there's concepts there that I think are more important, that are more generalized, that it doesn't really matter what version control system you're talking about, you just kind of have to know them. And I think the biggest one is merging. No version control system out there completely eliminates the need for merging. Now, obviously having good separation between coders as far as what they're working on, with different people on your team, and having some regimented practices of like rebasing and all that stuff helps to make it so you don't have to do a whole lot when it comes to merging, but it's never completely gone. And I think it's a very important topic to teach in college or comp sci students, because I know when I went through college they didn't teach any source control stuff at all, so I had to learn it all on live. I had to learn it all live when I was working for various companies. And we started out with CVS in my first job, and then eventually went to SVN, and now Git and GitHub. But there was an incident many years ago where I was working for an e-commerce company at the time, and we had just finished, we were gone through the cycle and had all kinds of changes ready to go for production. And for some reason or another, even though it was largely out of our hands, the IT department insisted that there had to be representatives from every team, developer representatives from every team, up and available at 3:30 in the morning to monitor the deployment, even though we had no way of affecting the deployment. It was completely out of our hand. So I did, save the other people in my team having to do that. And they deployed everything and it all went really well. Like I was testing stuff and it was fine. And I thought, okay, everything's good. And then about 45 minutes later, suddenly everything stopped working. That everything that we had worked on and stuff that I had personally worked. And of course, IT in their big huff is like, well, you've ruined the production build, so we're going to roll it back. We're not even going to give you the option to talk to us about why we shouldn't roll it back. We're just going to roll it back, and it's all your fault, and you've just wasted everybody's time. And so I was like, something's weird, right? Also taking the blame for something that was completely out of my hands was also kind of a shitty thing, but I was trying to be diplomatic in that regard. So I started investing, and granted, there was a lot of other problems with this company and a lot of other problems with their procedures. This was definitely not like the biggest thing that, but this is more on topic for, talking about things that, students should probably learn before they get out of college. And there was I kid you not, a process in place called stealth updates. That's actually what they called it. They called it stealth updates. And there was an entire team of developers that we never had any interactions with, who were like fraud support developers. And their job was to make these innocuous minor changes to files, to web pages, and just kind of push them out with very little oversight, because there was an idea that these changes need to be done immediately. And they were so, beneath everybody that nobody needed to check them out or review them or anything. They just had a blank check to just send them out, send them forth. But what they would do is, when these stealth updates would happen, and they would happen pretty frequently, like weekly sometimes, they would send out a list of all the files in an email that were updated. And I'm sitting there, and it's like 45 minutes, and like stuff's not working. I'm like, and my bosses, my technical manager's calling me like, hey, looking at this, like, what's happening? I'm like, I'm looking into it. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And I see that email because I'm looking at the file, and I don't see my changes in the file the file that's broken. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this file does not match the file on my machine. Like, it does not, the changes are not there. I don't know what happened. Something's amiss. It doesn't make any sense. And then I just happen to look at my email inbox, and I see that email about stealth update. And just out of curiosity, I was like, let me just look at this. I usually just kind of ignore it. I looked at it, I'm like, one of the files that was a stealth update, quote unquote, was a file that I had changed, right? So then I go and I look at the we were using SVN at the time. I look at the SVN history for the file. Apparently, so my changes definitely went in, and they were definitely there. But apparently someone on the stealth update team didn't know how to merge. They didn't know anything about merging. All they knew was, oh, SVN is not letting me commit this. I'll just override an update. So they literally pushed my changes out of the way and put their changes in, basically nullifying any changes that I made. And because that happened 45 minutes after the initial deployment, everything was working great up till then, and then all of a sudden, bang, nothing's working. And I'm looking at the because it was an automatic email that goes out, and I was looking at the timestamp of the email, and I'm looking at, you know, the current time. I'm like, these things match up. So this has gone wrong here. And, you know, I obviously said that to my boss. I was like, here's the problem. Here's the problem right here. But it didn't, you know, at that point, you know, everything had been rolled back. Everybody's time had been wasted. And they weren't going to do another deployment that morning. It's going to be another 2 weeks before they did another deployment because, you know, train schedules and all that stuff. You know, again, the company had other problems besides just that one thing. So yeah, that was, it was pretty shitty getting blamed for something that I had nothing to do with. I basically got completely blindsided by. And so the moral of that story being like, this person had no idea how merging worked. They had no concept of it. If they had any concept of it, they didn't know how to do it. You know what I mean? And it's not, merging is not necessarily an easy thing. Sometimes it's ridiculously easy. And a lot of times it's not, especially if you're have not been keeping your local up to date and stuff like that. And sometimes even when you do keep your local up to date, if you and somebody else are in the same file and they're doing massive changes, you know, you're going to have, one of you is going to have to merge, right? It's just, that's the nature of the beast. And I feel like that's something that is kind of universal in that it's something you're not going to get away from when you're working on a team of more than one person. You know, it's more than yourself working on something, right? There's going to be some kind of merge, whether you're using a source control system or not. There's going to be some kind of merge that's going to have to happen at some point in your career. Right. So I feel like that's a fundamental skill to at least practice in college. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's the whole point of college in many cases is like, yeah, learning theory and everything's good, but the real thing you're trying to do is gain experience using stuff, even in a most basic manner, to get comfortable with it. You know, get enough experience to be comfortable with something. You know, maybe you still don't know all the ins and outs of it, but you at least have a foundation in it. And I feel like being able to merge code together, you know, with all these multiple changes and stuff, is something that everybody struggles with. I mean, I struggle with it too, but I've done enough of it in the past. I mean, I started out in CVS where, you know, if anybody so much as breathed on a file, it had to be merged. You know, I mean, there was, you know, SVN was a little bit better in it and Git was monumentally better in it, but yeah, you so much as breathed in a direction of a file system, and suddenly everything had to be merged. So, you know, I've done some pretty big merges, and I feel like those are very important skills to have, because when that merge editor shows up and you've got, you know, if you've got the classic Q panel, you know, left and right, you know, that's a thing. But then there's also the 3-panel one, even more confusing. And you know, it's a good skill to at least be able to practice before you have to do it in real life, you know. So that's kind of my hat in the ring when it comes to that. I haven't had a chance to pose any tweets about it, but I've seen some of the tweets flying around. I'm like, you know, you guys have good points on both sides about, you know, whether it being a waste of time or whether it being very important, but none of you have shared the real world experience of, yeah, I got screwed because someone didn't fundamentally know how to use the tools that they're going to be asked to use anywhere they go, pretty much, whether it's that tool or a different one, you know. So just a little story from the trench there, the trenches. ID type active settings, edge sound, create update. So the row mapper I can remove. Service from. Right. Yeah, I'm going to service from that. And move it from settings row. We're going to really have his counts. We basically is always the question is, do I put a list of accounts in here and just update the query to bring that back? Yeah, I think there's setters for that guy. That's map row with right was for right, that's for when I was retrieving the asset as well. Yeah, I think though in the case of the accounts, I don't often do I need to know the account. I guess because it doesn't hurt to bring it down as part of everything else. Map the account. Well, I don't have to do it in here though. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna put it in here. I'll just have a method that brings both back when I need them. Which, yeah. It's yes and no. Account is going to be more important for everything because it will determine what is available in OBS and stuff. Yeah, I think I'll just bring it back. This is the problem with the linking tables is that I don't want to bring the alerts back more than once. So I kind of sort of have to make it a separate query. Get that. I think I'm going to keep it separate from the mapper here, but then I'll put a I'll put a thing in accounts here. So we'll say private static final get count for alert. Cool. So select just from where accounts inner join account alert settings on account what this once generated here. Curious. Accounts ID, alert settings, accounts ID. Where account alert settings, alert ID is question mark. Things that alert. Or by account updated, account created. Okay. Alert settings. I think that's correct. Prefix though. Bring an update and create it back. That's going to be an ambiguous column name. Ugh. I need to do prefix on all these things. We had this problem before too. There's a line now, right, with delimiter. Join with. I don't know what join with. Just want to know the Java doc. Damn it. I already had this. Right, didn't I already have something like this? Yeah, I got the prefix alias. Columns. In this case, I just need the columns prefixed. The account alert settings. Okay. And public, accounts for alerts. Account mapper is correct. Alerts. Okay. So we have that. So I can call from the UI when I need it. Or actually I can call, I'll put a service layer in here and just call it from there and populate it. So do service will do alert settings service. Okay. Private Settings DAO. Public, alert settings row. That's correct. But it would be get all settings and with count. And this would be this. Studio. Okay. That's that. And then turn. Just settings. Oh. Things. Go. Oh, okay. Very good. Getting the settings with the accounts. Now before the one page. I think all my settings are deleted anyway right now, which is good. Have to recreate them, or all the alerts are deleted right now because of the table changes I've made. Settings with accounts, and then let me think here. Get all things with accounts. That's correct. That brings me back those things. The real pain here is I'm not paging anything. So I was debating whether I should go back and like some paging logic in there and say like only bring back, you know, 10 alerts per page or 20 alerts per page or whatever. But I kind of feel like if you're getting that to that point where you have that many to bring back, then something else is going on. Like that might not be necessary in this particular case. Although it might still be something I do in the future. It'll just be kind of a retrofit on top of things. That brings back the accounts. Be good for that page. Okay, so then in the alerts controller, alert settings controller, settings with asset under. I wonder if I should have one of these that does the alert. I'm probably going to need that. The assets will be on the edit page, so go in here. Yeah, because this still has get service. Super. This account. Account. I have that. I have to see how I have to remember how I do that. Now the assets row mapper. Magic sound. Right, okay. So then, where do I do it on the edit? I think settings controller. There's all settings there. That goes to that too. This should now go to private. Settings service. Like so. And this go. All settings with account. I did that query wrong too, didn't I? Wait a minute. There's no more service here. Could be more. The update has changed with other things too, because there could be like additional counts to map to. Yeah, it gets things with assets, but where was the one? Those. Settings by ID. Can I use this for anything? This is what I call on the. See here. Hey, Shin, welcome on in. You're not having a very good stream, eh? I saw you were having technical issues earlier. Having more technical issues. Oh, still getting used to this chair here. I like it, but it does take getting used to. Which kept logging you off and YouTube never went online. Oof. Oof. Yeah, that's rough, man. Yikes. It's I don't know. Are you using Restream, or are you using Caster Labs for your, or are you doing that plugin? You're doing Caster Labs? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna bite my tongue there. I've been frustrated with I know they're seeing a lot of traffic and everything, but I've been kind of frustrated with their stuff just not working. So, oh well, it is what it is right now. I mean, and to be fair, like Restream's not any much better. There are some times when it just kind of, your stream just sort of drops for no reason whatsoever there, or you just don't get any, you don't get the throughput. But you know, they are a more mature product though. That sucks, man. I hope you could figure out what's going on and everything, because yeah, that's just that just sucks all around. I do that. Meantime, I'm just kind of refactoring some stuff here. I've decided that I want to change the way I'm saving alerts, and I want to make it so that we can potentially have alerts that you just share across services. Like, you do the alert once, in theory, you do the alert, set up the alert, and then you say, I want this to kick off for YouTube and Twitch, or just YouTube. I think that will be better for the users in the long run. It's just a little bit more work on my end to get it kind of, get everything sorted out here with that. You have a suggestion on that? Oh, I'm all ears, man. I'm all ears. Right now I'm just kind of refactoring. I'm creating accounts now, or, well, not creating, but I'm putting the accounts table together. And that's where, like, when you link your Twitch accounts and stuff, it'll all go in there. And then you can link your alerts and stuff to it. Would be good. And for the accounts, you can have multiple accounts on each service, including, you're gonna have like 2 categories of accounts. One that is the accounts that you broadcast to, and one that is accounts that you just use for chat interactions. That way you can have an account that's just a chat bot, really, and that's the thing that will speak in chat on your behalf, rather than having that go through your main account. So the alerts, as you have them set up right now, you duplicate images, change slightly to show which service triggered. If you do cross-platform alerts, you can have them trigger a sub-image that tells who followed where. Who followed where. Yeah, I am going to try to... I'm going to see how that comes together. Like I want to keep the service name along with it, or at least the service mark, along with where they subscribed. But what I have is I don't have it right now, but eventually when you put in the text of your alerts, I have velocity set up in the background to do to turn it into like a template, and in there you could have variable replacements, and then I'll just have a list of all the different variables that you can put into your alert, at least from the text perspective. You can say like, oh, it's from this service or that service, and it'll be like an icon or whatever. That's one thing. And the other thing, all of the way I'm handling images and sound is they all go into a single pool. So you upload them, they just go into an upload folder, and you can reuse them across the events, across the alerts. And then I think if I'm going to have like a cross platform alerts, which I'm kind of going for now, I could probably add in a thing that's like, you know, use this image for this platform, use that image for this other platform. You know, maybe change the sound from one platform to the next if you want to. And then we'll have to see if I can do something where you can have a mix of those two. I think at least out of the gate, I could make it where, you know, based on the service, you could have maybe a different, you know, the same event, but a different sounder or a different image or something like that. That might be good too. But I definitely want to keep like the service that initiated the event somewhere and have it available. I just don't know exactly what it's going to look like from a user perspective right now. From a broadcaster perspective, creator perspective. But I do have that kind of stuff floating around in my thoughts for this. So we'll see. Let me see here. Alert settings. I need to integrate the oh, I wanted to see, I did an inner join, didn't I? Which I didn't really mean to do. Why did I do that? Oh, here we go. Get accounts for alerts. Actually, I'm going against accounts, right? So this is actually correct. Doing an inner join here is correct because I only want accounts for specific that are attached to a specific alert. I don't want all. Up here's where I get all the accounts, even the ones that don't have any alerts attached to them. Okay. I think I'm good there. I thought for a minute that I needed to change this join to like an outer join, but no, inner join is correct here for this one. So I'm coming at it from the opposite direction. If I was coming at it from the alert settings going to accounts, then I would have to do a left outer join because there could be alerts that you have set up that don't have any, that aren't associated to any account. Or were associated to an account, but you deleted that account link, and now they're just kind of floating out there. But you know, That's the other. That's I mean that's the one of the reasons why I'm doing this is that if you do like unlink an account, you don't lose your alerts that are out there. They're still there. You just have to like once you link another account again, you just have to you just have to edit that alert and reattach it to whatever account you're relinking or the new account that you're linking. Okay. All right, I'm going to take another stretch break, friends, because these are really bothering me for some reason. Not only that, but I need a minute to like jump around and get my brain going. Because it's like, again, I was having this problem last night too, where it's just like, I know kind of what I need to do next, but I'm like having like my brain is just stopping. It's like I know what's coming up. I just for some reason getting the next step, get to what's coming up. I'm like freezing here. So let me get up and jump around a bit, and maybe get some of the pain out of my knees, and I will be right back, my friends. Okay, I'm back. I didn't go very far. It's just need to jog in place and stuff. But given how much I am kind of struggling to sort of move forward here with my I might only go for another hour. I might end it a little bit early today. So we'll stay here. Yeah, it's I'm just kind of like, there are days where I just cannot, like, there are periods of time where my brain just is like crawling through mud and I know where I want to go. I'm just struggling to get that next step, you know, to organize it all and get there. So we have the accounts. I was looking at the assets. Still all assets. They're paid. Okay. Where do I use this room map? Settings with assets. Oh God, what? Okay. Okay. Yeah, alright. Right now I only have the one image and one sound, but that can change later as needed. I don't think that changes. That stays the same for right now. Just the controller. It just made a change to all settings with account. And I'll leave it as a single drop down for right now. We'll just see only one record in the linking table. Create settings, build setting object. Alright, we'll have service here at R. Actually, that drop down here, it won't be service anymore. It'll be the account. What account you want to link it to. So get type. Yeah, so it's not even really going to be. Service is not even really going to be on there anymore. It's going to be. Going to be account. One tricky part about that is going to be the drop down is filtered by different service types. I still have that on here, right? Yeah, I still have service here, which will be the service type. It's just it'll be dictated by the accounts you have linked. When you're creating new, what that basically means is you won't be able to create any alerts until you have at least one account link. I guess is fine. That also means that you won't be able to have you won't be able to create an alert for YouTube until you link a YouTube account. But with the alerts being shared, might not be a problem. Yeah. I'm not concerned so much, but I am like, I don't necessarily like I have to kind of forcing you to have an account linked before I let you do alerts and stuff, because there is merit to being able to just set them all up and then test them on your own before you've even linked anything. It also makes the development a little bit easier too, because then I don't necessarily have to be linked to a real account if I want to do settings and whatnot. So what I can do there is I can alter the alert settings table here and make the account ID Not null, or make the account ID null. Allow null, which I thought wasn't I already adding that as part of this? No column if exists service. Oh, that's right. There isn't an account ID in here because it's up in the linking table now. So if that's the case, then yeah, I don't have to do much. I can change. I can write an alert settings record. Without having it connected to any accounts, which would be good. That way you can like set things up ahead of time, just test them locally, and then link an account and then edit them and point them to those accounts. I don't know if I've set this up. These constraints. I feel like these constraints are reversed. But I guess we'll see here. Yeah, I don't think. I did this right. Huh. Alright. Well, that's, I mean, the only way to know is to test. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, folks. I'm gonna have to probably end the stream here because I cannot, for the life of me, think straight right now. I'm just having all kinds of just brain fog at the moment. Like I can't even. Like I'm making little bits of progress here, but it's just like everything's just so fogged up. I don't know what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna put a pin in this. I'm not gonna commit anything or anything like that. I'll just kind of hopefully come back to this on Monday night, and hopefully by then some of this fog in my brain will have cleared and I can kind of think a little bit more clearly. Hopefully. Yeah, I'm struggling here to kind of like, I'm struggling on something that should be really obvious and straightforward, and it's got me boggled. So anyway, my friends, I'm gonna stop there. Like I said, a little bit early, but we did make a little bit of progress, so not too bad. Let's see if there's anyone on Twitch now. Nobody I can see live right now to send you guys to, so I'm just gonna kind of let's just disperse a bit, and go your own ways right now. So yeah, should be back on again in a couple hours, for some multiplayer stuff, hopefully, and we'll take it from there, my friends. But anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope everyone has an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what it is for you, and hope to see you back here again in the future for some more stuff, whatever happens to suit your fancy. Until then, see you, bye.
Same old story. Boy finds girl, boy loses girl, girl finds boy. Boy forgets girl, boy remembers girl. And girl dies in a tragic blimp accident over the Orange Bowl on New Year's Day.
Good year.
No, the worst.